Welcome to Warp Core Breach, the random news interjection episode, because, well, that's what we do from time to time. We've got Klingon Civil War!
We'll just call it the Klingon Intervention.
Ooh, I like that. Now I feel like there's going to be some armed guards, some Klingon pain sticks, and a whole lot of opera.
I would concur.
That's okay as long as I get to meet Michael Dorn.
Ooh, the hologrammatic doctor in Klingon guys singing opera.
Ooh, I'll take that.
Yeah. Go Picardo.
And J.G. Hertzler running for Congress.
Yes, I could totally see that. I follow his feed.
No, I think he did that.
Yeah? Interesting.
Maybe. I forget. Anyways, somebody associated with Star Trek ran for Congress, so I know that much.
But I digress.
Yes.
About Congress.
Not yet. I gotcha. So they're kicking things off with a bang with Attack on Gowron, and we've known that name for a while. But now we actually know what we're getting. We're getting the Bortos.
Yeah, Vorcha.
Yes, another Klingon Vorcha, and this is the named ship that we've wanted for a long time. We don't quite know what the named ability is, but at this point, I don't really care. I get the Bortos.
Yes. It does look rather defensive, which could be really good.
Yeah, I mean, Klingon's defensive quality, yeah, I'll take it.
Exactly.
We get Captain Gowron, Crew Worf, elite talent, presumably, some kind of weapon, some kind of tech. Meh.
Yeah, it almost looks like it might be 2 talents.
It might be.
Who knows? We shall see.
Yeah. So, I'm excited for that pack. That one has me going, and, hey, more Vorcha, good thing in my book.
Old Bug Eyes is back.
Ooh, yeah. A little disappointed for no Kim pick.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a Kamchi, and get another, another Vorcha down the road.
Yeah, that could definitely be a thing.
My only caveat with this is that the Vorcha ships, generally speaking, aren't as prevalent. You either have to buy the starter, get lucky with the booster, or buy the one retail that we've got. So there is some out there, but unless you're one of those people like me that went and scooped up a bunch, you're going to be a little hard-pressed to get an extra model for it.
True.
So maybe that's a good side market for people to sell their extras.
And what this tells me is, maybe Dravana's sales were a little low, so they're trying to boost it up.
Yeah.
But people have been clamoring for more Vorchas, so here's another way to use your starter Vorcha model.
Yes.
The downside is if you want to run the two together.
Well, hopefully you pulled one in the blind boosters. Hopefully you picked up the Dravana. That's 3 models right there, including the starter. So, unless you're going to need to run 3 or 4 of them, you've got a pretty good chance there if you're only running 2 or 3.
Which, there are times you might want to run more.
Exactly.
Especially for fun.
Oh, big scenarios, run a couple 100 points and just do a big fleet? Why not? And heck, Klingons are probably the easiest and most fun to run light. For me, anyway.
Yeah, toss the captain on there.
Yep.
Sprinkle in some crew across the fleet. Be on your way.
And as they say here for the storyline organized play series for Klingon Civil War, we cannot regain our honor by acting dishonorably. Worf.
That is a good quote.
I think that's a great thing to apply to the game in general. If you're going to play this game based around Star Trek with its ideals, be honorable in every way that you can.
I will support that. So that brings us to month 2, which is the battle for Mempa, and the IKS Hegta.
CCG fans will remember that one as well.
Yes, I do recall that one. I believe that was Kern's ship?
I believe so, yes.
It's a cavort, so yay nice. For more cavorts. I
love the
like
stat
the
line.
Cavorts, yeah. The 5-hole for attack, it's a reasonable thing. Again, don't know the abilities yet, but that's okay.
I'm excited to get more Cavort.
We can see that Kern costs 4 points, so that's indicative of a higher skill captain.
Mm-hmm.
Probably skill 6, 7, something like that. And that's...
I'm betting on a 6.
Yeah, it's representative of what he was during the Klingon Civil War.
Right.
So that'll work.
He still had his chutzpah.
Yeah. And then we get, I think it's Taral?
Yeah, that's the young Taral, the son of Duras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what he brings as a 4-point crew.
Well, you remember when people used to complain about, Wesley Wiedebix, the whiny little know-it-all kind of kid in TNG?
Yes.
To me, Taral was infinitely worse. He talked big, had nothing to back it up, and sadly, he was pretty much a puppet and a loser.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he had his aunts basically to look after him, because I don't think his father did much. And he was just a nothing. A figurehead with no strength, no stability. So he fell pretty flat. I honestly don't remember too much of his character in DS9. I'm actually going through a rewatch, so I'll probably catch up to that in a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what he does. And the other cards, who knows. But I'm excited for Kern and another Cavort.
Yeah, I like having more upgrades. Like, we have a fair bit of crew for Klingons already, but I'd like to see more varied upgrades, like maybe some different weapons or some different tech, Flesh out some of the capabilities of the faction. Give them more scope.
I will agree. When I think of Klingons, I do think of the warrior spirit, the way that the crew are emboldened by words and their actions carry the day. So I'm fine with crew leading the charge within the faction, but they have to have some tech and some weapons that help them do it.
Right, because it's not like they're floating out in space with a suit and a batleth.
Right.
They need engines, they need disruptors, they need thrusters, they need cloaking stuff. They need things that make what they have useful and special.
If nothing else, they should have some better elite talents.
Agreed. Like, there's some great ideas, like the start of something good in a lot of them, but it's like they fall short or they go a little too far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When your best elite talent is Qapla' as a two-pointer, you're kind of lacking something.
Yeah, even Romulans can challenge them in the elite talent department, and they're not doing so well either, even though they have a lot of them.
Uh-huh. And I think that brings us into month 3.
Baiting the Romulans.
And this is where we figure out that the Romulans have actually been involved the whole time.
Oh, hey, wait, what? Ooh.
And we get 2 captains in the pack.
Yes, finally.
By that I mean 2 named captains.
Yes. And for good reason.
It's Lursa and Betor.
Yes, Sisters of Duras.
There's ways for them to kind of work together. Mm-hmm. That'll be interesting to see how it truly plays out once we see Lursa. And there is a Burrell ship, the IKS Taral. Mm-hmm. They just didn't picture it in the
preview.
But don't fear, there is an actual new named ship coming. And yeah, I kind of shrug at another Burrell, but it's another ship, and that is an option, and who knows.
And it is closer to canon because the Duras sisters, I believe the ship that they used, particularly in Generations, was actually like a D-12, which is a smaller version yet than a Burrell. So in game, the Burrell is the closest ship to being what they actually used.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Mm-hmm. So it makes sense, and they were never well off, so I doubt they could have afforded, either prestige, money, whatever they used to get the larger, more powerful Cavort. So it makes a lot of sense.
It really does.
So we'll have to wait and see what kind of ability we get with that puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, and there's another crew and 3 other upgrades, so a lot of stuff there. We'll see what that pack has to offer. That'll be a really good pack.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
If nothing else, for the captains alone, just to
Yes.
get them into the game.
No kidding.
We've been wanting them, and WizKids delivered, so I'm glad
Thank
to
you.
see it.
Filling in a lot of gaps this way, and I'm loving it.
But wait, there's more. There's a grand prize.
And what grand prize is it?
Well, you can win Sayla's Warbird.
Yes, finally.
And of course, you get Captain Sela.
Naturally. Possibly she may also be an admiral? One of them is.
One of them is. So there's another card that's also shown on a captain's side. So somebody's an admiral. We don't know who. Here's the thing that intrigues me more. The entire stat line of Sela's Warbird is obscured. So I'm hoping, beyond all hope, that it's better than a 3-2-6-4.
Yes, please. I can't recall. Was she independent of Romulan Council, or was she Tal Shiar, or just...
She was Tal Shiar.
Right. So based on that, it's entirely possible to have like an enhanced Warbird, like the Avatar Tomad, as we discussed aside to the podcast. It had a different stat line, so there's no reason why we couldn't believe the possibility of this one being different as well.
Right. We'll see. And I don't know. I don't think anybody knows.
Well, WizKids knows.
Well, yeah. But nobody who can say, or nobody who will say, knows. And that's okay. It leaves us guessing for a little bit.
Yes.
For several months, actually.
What we can see of the few upgrades on the preview, I like the titles: Reverse Course, Romulan Alliance. It sounds interesting. It's probably a Klingon Romulan Alliance.
Probably.
So could be some interesting mechanics going on there.
Maybe some kind of a officer exchange program between the two factions.
Possibly, yes. And the card that we can only see the image of looks like the Romulans seeing the tachyon detection grid and something along that line. So it might be maybe another way to make use of the cloaking technology.
Oh, yeah.
Because even with 6 dice, we all know that that's no guarantee you're going to roll enough evades to survive an attack.
No.
So if this is an enhancement for that, that would be awesome. Or a way to maybe another way to stay cloaked. Who knows? But it's interesting, it's intriguing, it's exciting, and I can't wait for it. I'm a huge Romulan fan, long before even Star Trek Attack Wing existed, so this is awesome. I'm a big Klingon fan in this game, especially because of how the cards work, how the ships are, and they're really fun for me to play. So we've got 3 months of OPs that I'm just going to be drooling waiting for.
Now, one thing that I've heard suggested by a couple of other venues, and I'm going to implement, and I wanted to toss out here, is instead of doing 3 battle points for winning an event, do 1 instead, so that it prolongs the event and makes all 3 months matter. Because there's a possibility if somebody wins the first 2 months, then all they have to do is show up to month 3.
Yeah.
And they can go 0-3, and they still win overall. And while that's okay, they'll probably still be competitive because they want to get the month 3 prize ship.
Yes.
Everybody else kind of feels defeated.
Like almost like, what's the point of even trying for it if there's no hope?
Yeah. But if you do 1 extra battle point, that can encourage people to say, hey, I probably don't have much of a chance, but I've got a little bit of a chance. I think it's worth saying, hey, try it out. If you're a TO and you're looking for ideas and you've had those runaway events, it's 3 months, see what happens. But yeah, that's Klingon Civil War. I think WizKids did it right in terms of the cards they actually got into these packs, in terms of characters, names of cards from what we can see, images.
Mm-hmm. Very thematic overall.
Yeah, it feels like they've got the best of the best. You know, they're not really capturing the Federation side, but it would be really hard to get much more of it because we've already seen the Sutherland.
Mm-hmm. Enterprise, obviously.
Right.
The only thing that I would suggest they added, and I don't know if I mentioned this in podcasts before or just to other folks, but a Romulan version of Spock, Picard, and Data.
That would be good, but to my recollection, didn't that happen a bit after the Klingon Civil War?
That was Unification, wasn't it?
That was Unification.
Yes. My mistake. Something to look forward to, hopefully.
Very much something to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And I think that could be happening. I would have liked to have seen a Klingon Picard because of his role as the Arbiter of Succession for Gowron.
Right. Well, hang on a sec. Just stepping back a moment. Wasn't Unification at the end of Part 1, isn't that where we first saw Sela come out of the shadows? Wasn't that kind of what led up to the Civil War?
Okay. Redemption is it's the end of Season 4 and Season 5.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Klingon Civil War. And then Unification is the middle of Season 5.
Okay, so Unification comes later.
There are 5 episodes between the end of the Klingon Civil War and Unification.
Okay.
So it's very tight.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it would make all logical sense for Unification to then be
a follow-up episode.
A follow-up episodic OP.
Yes, that would be cool.
Since we now have all of this stuff, let's go do it. And then we can get a Romulan, Picard, Data, Spock.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was the middle of Redemption where it was revealed Sela. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Unification was more that other Romulan fellow. What was his name?
Pardek,
yeah. Yeah, Pardek. Because he was like the Spock's contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we might have some like the dissidents and things like that. Cool.
So, this is a win for thematic. I think that's the way to put it.
Absolutely.
There could maybe be ways to do it different, but
I think they nailed it.
I think they nailed it too.
Yeah, you don't even need to be able to read all the cards to know that just conceptually, the ships, the people, and all that are very fitting to the Klingon Civil War theme and storyline. And like you said, people have been clamoring to like, why can't the prizes be more thematic? Why are they just some random thing thrown in that has nothing to do with it? Well, now you've got it. You spoke, WizKids listened, and here we go. So let's embrace this, support this game that we love, and move forward. Because, as I've said like 2 or 3 times already in the podcast, I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. It'll be good. So that's play in October, November, and January.
Glory to you and your house. Kapla!
Warp core ejected.
Warp Core Breach is produced by Nick Norris and David Montgomery, with additional content from our contributors. Our computer is voiced by Corinne Donnelly.
Warp Core Breach is not endorsed, sponsored, or affiliated with CBS Studios Incorporated or the Star Trek franchise. All Star Trek trademarks and logos are owned by CBS Studios Incorporated.
All sound files are used under Creative Commons 3.0 by attribution. For specifics, please visit our Facebook page by searching Warp Core Breach Podcast. If you want to contribute to the show, let us know on the Facebook page, or you can email us at warpcorebreachpodcast@gmail.com.